Is the drip network sustainable? The short answer, in my opinion, now obviously this is not financial advice, this is entertainment, blah, blah, blah. But in my opinion, it actually probably is indefinitely sustainable. Okay. Now, in order to understand how that is possible, we first need to look at the history of these types of projects. Okay, Drip is definitely not the first one of these super high yield DeFi projects. Obviously, they're paying out 1% daily return on investments. There have been tons of projects before Drip that have paid that amount or even a way higher than that. So they are definitely not the first. There are a million other projects like this all over the internet. So what makes Drip different? Okay, so like I said, in order to understand that, we have to look at the history of these projects, basically the evolution of these DeFi projects over time. The entire goal with them was to make them last longer. Okay, notice that I'm not saying last forever. Okay, they weren't even attempting to necessarily make them last forever, just last longer. Okay, a lot of the really garbage DeFi projects literally last a few weeks, a few days, potentially even less than a day, depending on how the tokenomics are structured. So basically, since the invention of these DeFi high yield projects, the whole point of them has been trying to come up with ways to make them last longer and longer and longer. So Drip has done, in and of itself, a very good job of doing that. The first and probably most important thing about Drip, the reason that it'll last longer than most of these other projects, is the fact that you cannot remove your deposit. Okay, let me say that again. Your initial deposit, the first amount of money you put into Drip, you can never take it back out. Okay, so whatever money you invest in Drip, it's gone. Okay, you can't take it back out. The only money you can take back out is your earnings, your daily ROI. That's the only way to make money on Drip. This money right here, my 28 Drip that I deposited, that is gone forever. Now, right off the bat, that maybe seems concerning until you realize that it's the same rules for everyone. Okay, so not only can I not remove my initial deposit, but no one can move their initial deposit. And that was one of the major problems with these DeFi projects way back in the day, is that you could remove your initial deposit. So people would just pump and dump these projects. They would make a ton of money right off the bats, and then they would sell everything, and then it would kill the projects, and the coin would go to $0 in like 10 minutes, right? So that's obviously the issue with not having a locked deposit. And that is what Drip has, is they have this locked deposit. It's, just think of it as if it's gone forever once you put it in there. The second thing that Drip does to make it last longer, to make it more sustainable, is the taxes. Okay, 10% tax on deposits, 10% tax on claiming, on selling, on buying. I think it doesn't say it here, but I'm pretty sure that there's one on buying. If there's not, there's still taxes, 10% taxes all over the place. So basically, you don't actually end up getting the 365% APR or the 1% daily if you're claiming all the time. Okay, it's only a 5% tax, however, to hydrate, aka to recompound, so that incentivizes everyone to hydrate instead of claiming. So that is another way that this project is designed to be long-term, to last longer, to be more sustainable. Another thing that makes Drip more sustainable is this max payouts. Now, there's two angles for this max payouts. The one angle is that there's a 100,000 Drip max payout cap for everyone. But then you have your personal max payout. So you can see my max payout is 102.198 Drip. Okay, I currently have 28 Drip. So what is the correlation between these two numbers right here? This 28 Drip, if you multiply that by 365%, you get 102.198. That actually doesn't sound right in my head, but it should be like basically really close to that. That should be pretty much, it should be right around 3.65 times or 365% of this number, okay? And that is because this is huge. Go down here and look, blah, 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 deposit by paying out 1% daily return on investment up to 365%, up to 365%, okay? So what that means is that if you just click claim, 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 claim every single day, and you just want to get paid money, once you make 365% of your initial investment, you're done, okay? You can't make any more money. And that is yet another thing that not only incentivizes people to hydrate, to recompound, but it forces people to recompound. Because if they just claim forever, they're going to be done, okay? They can't make any more money. So you can increase this deposit. If you increase this deposit, it increases the max payouts by 3.65 times however much you increase the deposit. So if you increase the deposit by 1 drip, it'll increase the max payout by 3.65 drip. Okay, does that make sense? And you can increase the deposits by putting more money into the deposit just the normal way, just by investing, or if you hydrate, you also increase your deposit. So that is why it not only incentivizes hydrating, but it forces you to hydrate. Another thing that will make the project more sustainable and last longer. Now, another issue that people get into is that they have these whales. If you don't know what a whale is just somebody who has a crap ton of money. They literally own potentially like half of the entire Drip network, right? So first of all, they have whale taxes. Okay, so the taxes, for me, it's 10% basically on everything. If you're a whale, if you own 10% of all the drip, 20% of all the drip, it increases the more you own. But if you are a whale, you're going to pay higher tax rates. Okay, so it incentivizes you even more to hydrate. You're really not going to want to claim as much because you're going to lose a lot of your money. All right. Another thing that is important is that that thing I talked about the 100,000 cap for everyone. When your account reaches 100,000 drip, which that's probably out in the future for most people by a long shot, because 100,000 drip right now is like freaking, what is that, like $10 million or something? So yeah, that's a lot of money. But if you do potentially reach that 100,000 drip, if anyone's account reaches that, they're done. Okay. Once their max payout reaches 100,000 drip, it can't go up past that. So that's the most you can ever be paid out is 100,000 drip. So that is yet another way to make this more sustainable. But everything that I have talked about up until this point, I have used the phrase more sustainable or last longer. And really everything that I've talked about is not the kind of thing that's going to make this last forever. Okay. The tokenomics of Drip is awesome. I think it's pretty much perfect. I don't see a ton of ways to improve it. I think that it's going to make the project last as long as it possibly can within the tokenomics themselves. However, if you want to make this thing last forever, you have to do something different. And if you guys did not know, the developer of this project, of the Drip Network, his name is Forex Shark. And he's been doing exactly that. He has come up with more methods to basically generate external revenue to put back into Drip that will potentially make it last forever. Okay. Now, really quickly, just to tell you guys this, Drip Network has been around for just about a year at this point. Okay. And the price of Drip is way higher than when they started. So in terms of this thing being theoretical, I feel like it has already proven itself pretty well at this point. It has been around for a year. Like I said, some of these projects literally last like a day. Okay. Drip has been around for a year already and is going strong. So in terms of proving itself, it has already done that, in my opinion, pretty effectively. But like I said, we're talking about, can this be sustainable indefinitely? And basically what Forex has done. So let's look up a website called Loot NFT. So basically what he has been doing is Forex has partnered the Drip Network with other projects, okay, like Loot NFT, for example. So essentially, Loot NFT makes money, and part of that money, because it's partnered with Drip, part of the money from Loot NFT is funneled back into Drip, and that money is then used to help pay the 1% daily return on investments. Okay, so all of these things that I've been talking about, the taxes, the deposit, the locked deposit, the max payout, those things prolong it. It prolong the life of Drip, but it won't make it last forever. This idea of bringing in external income from other projects by using these partnerships, as long as Forex continues to do more and more partnerships, this potentially can last forever. So by the way, Loot NFT is the project for February. The project for March, this isn't technically confirmed yet, but I feel like the general consensus is that it will actually be PancakeSwap, which is huge. Okay, if you guys did not know what PancakeSwap is the biggest thing on the Binance Smart Chain. It is the biggest exchange. It is worth tons and tons of money. It is absolutely massive. This is going to be huge for the Drip community, for the Drip Network. Okay, so basically, as far as I know, Forex's plan is to continue doing these partnerships forever. Okay, so that is the way that he is filling in that gap. Okay, his tokenomics are great, but it doesn't make the project last forever. So how he makes the project last forever is by continuously doing new partnerships every single month like this, huge things that will generate revenue externally, and then he brings that money back into the Drip network. And as far as I know, that is basically currently his plan in order to keep this thing sustainable. And he is always innovating. He's a very smart guy, and he's always coming up with new ways to make Drip more and more sustainable. Okay. So that is basically the thing that Drip is doing that, as far as I know, nobody else has done to the extent that Forex is doing. Okay. He's announcing new partnerships like every other day. It seems like it's ridiculous how fast this guy is moving and how many partnerships he's able to obtain to bring more money back into Drip. So when I talk about the sustainability of Drip, do I think it is indefinitely sustainable? I think that as long as Forex continues to get more partnerships, I think it's sustainable. But if you have a question, if you feel that I did not answer what you were hoping I was going to answer, or something that I should have talked about that I did not, leave a comment and ask me a question. I'm not omniscient. I might not be able to answer it, but I will do my best to answer it for you. And if I can't, hopefully I can point you in the right direction to get it answered. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap this video up. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And you guys go and have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you guys later.